There is this AI infrastructure coalition launching this week, and we're going to tell you about it. It's launching in Washington. It aims to support President Trump's AI action plan while pushing back against increased industry scrutiny. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says that the U.S. will win the AI race. He is going to be joining me in a Fox Business exclusive on Monday. Join us for the Commerce Secretary Monday morning when we talk about this. But ahead of it, I'm joined by the co-chairs of the coalition, former Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema and former Louisiana Congressman Garret Graves. Kyrsten, Garret, great to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us. Kyrsten Sinema, kick us off here. How will this coalition work? Give us your priorities.
Well, first of all, it's great to be with you again, Maria. So very happy to see you. You know, earlier this week, we launched the AI Infrastructure Coalition. And the work that we're doing is really supporting exactly what Commerce Secretary Lutnick said at our launch earlier this week, which is to ensure that America wins the global AI race. And President Trump and the Trump administration are going full steam ahead in ensuring that we dominate this and beat China, which is absolutely critical to American interests, both nationally and globally. So it's a really exciting time. We are so excited to be working hand in glove with the Trump administration to ensure that American companies and American values are what dominate the AI race globally.
Well, this is all what we care about very much as well, and our audience as well, Kyrsten. What kind of policy changes do you want to see in order to make that happen?
Well, there's a number of things that have got to happen. You know, one of the challenges that we face is building the data centers that actually help people like you and me and all of us, our lives get easier. So when we build more data centers, we can power more AI. That allows us to have faster emergency response times. It helps us identify diseases and cure them faster. I mean, it makes a difference in our daily lives. But it is very difficult to build and do permitting in our country right now. And actually, Congressman Graves is an expert on the issues of energy and permitting. And so he's helping us lead our coalition in working with the administration and with Congress to make those changes so we can actually do this faster, do it more effectively, and ensure that we defeat China.
Yeah, I love this because, Garret, you know, we've been talking about permitting so much. This is a huge game changer when it comes to growth in the economy. The White House is currently drafting an executive order which is challenging state efforts to enact their own artificial intelligence laws. The order would establish an AI task force to launch lawsuits and threaten federal funding for states within contested AI laws. So walk us through what policy you want to see, Garret. AI industry leaders, including OpenAI, Sam Altman, venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, are opposing a state-by-state policy approach. I know there are more than just this state-by-state, but even President Trump wrote on X, we can't have 50 different AI rules. We have to have one federal rule, which is looking at AI. Talk to us about that, as well as the permitting that Kyrsten just mentioned.
Sure. Look, Kyrsten's exactly right. This is a race, and there's no second place. It's either going to be the United States or China. Currently, 80% of global demand for data centers is happening in these two countries. We're up against a country that doesn't care about the environment, human rights, doesn't care about intellectual property rights. We've got to have a set of rules in the United States that are going to allow us to compete and allow us to win this global race. It comes down to three things. One, the data. Do you want the United States or China in charge of your data, your private information? Number two, it comes down to energy. Do you want China or the United States? We have cleaner energy. We have more reliable energy, natural gas. We're innovating on small modular reactors and nuclear power. And it comes down to the technology. Do you want the jobs? Do you want the innovation happening in the United States, or do you want it happening in China? If we're up against this other country that's operating by an entirely different set of rules, it's like being in a race and giving them a head start. It's not fair. The Trump administration is exactly right. They have put an AI czar in place. They've got executive orders in place and aggressively pursuing a reversal of the flawed Biden administration energy policies to ensure that we can power these in a way that's reliable and affordable. We can win this race, but it's going to take this administration continuing to prioritize. They've been doing a great job so far.
Yeah, what about that AI situation? I mean, there was some pushback in certain states saying, no, well, we want to have our own AI leadership on this. But I think the president makes a great point. You can't have 50 different AI rules.
No, that's exactly right. And that's why this executive order they're working on is exactly what needs to happen. You have to have a clear set of rules that apply across the United States. It's the right direction, and you can do it in a way that respects privacy and autonomy for the states as well.
What do you think, Kyrsten?
That's absolutely right, Maria. You know, states have always been the hubs of innovation. States are always where good ideas are tested and moving forward. But in an AI race against China, when it's not just about national security, but also about all of us, this is about how we power the medical devices for the future, how our schools and emergency responses are working. This is about the things that matter in all of our daily lives. We cannot afford to let China be in charge of that technology. We have to do it. And so President Trump's direction in saying we've got to do this together, united as a country, and then working closely with his cabinet and with his AI czar, David Sachs, what he's doing is setting us up for success, not just domestically, but also globally.
The Commerce Department approving the sale of up to 70,000 advanced AI to two companies based in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. This is seen as a big win for the Middle East as they seek to catch up on the AI race. How do you look at it globally, Garret? I mean, what do you want to say about the impact on national security?
Look, let me say it again. You're going to have one country win this, and it's either going to be the United States or China. To the extent that the United States can work with our allies, get our innovation, our products deployed across the globe, it helps us get additional traction globally in ensuring that we prevail. And look, Kyrsten is exactly right. This is going to transform. It will revolutionize Americans' lives, bringing efficiency, bringing greater value to families across this country. We cannot afford to lose this race to China.
A new Fox News poll shows a majority of voters have a complicated relationship with AI. 51% believe it's a good thing for your current job. 39% say different. Just under half of those respondents say AI will help with a long-term career. 48% believe it will not. Meanwhile, more people think AI will eliminate American jobs in the next 5 years. Workers in sales, real estate, finance, healthcare, most concerned about their jobs. What's your reaction to this, Kyrsten, and how does this play into your thinking?
You know, Maria, I remember back in 1995, right? And that was right when the internet was starting. Economists were writing books and articles saying when the internet becomes a public commodity, it will ruin the economy and it will destroy jobs. Well, we all know, here we are 30 years later, and the internet has actually helped increase jobs and increase productivity and actually created whole new industries. That's what's going to happen with our AI revolution. And indeed, Maria, it's already happening. So you're not going to see massive destruction of jobs. What you are going to see is a shift in the way that we work. So we will become more efficient. We'll actually have the ability to rely on AI tools, which we already do in our daily lives, but that will increase and transform. So, well, I guess what I say to the folks who are screaming that this is going to hurt us, take a look at history. Every technological revolution, there have been those who have said this is bad for us, but there have those who have said this will help transform us and make us more efficient and effective and increase our quality of life. And those folks have always been right. I understand.
Yep. Go ahead.
I understand that folks are nervous, but think about how we're using AI in our daily lives right now and know that that's going to continue to increase and improve quality of life for all of us.
And you've got a great coalition here. Members of the AIIC include Andreessen Horowitz, Cisco, Corning, Digital Reality, Duke Energy, Entergy, ExxonMobil, Google, Lumen, Meta, Microsoft, Next Era, PG&E, Pinnacle West, and QTS. What are you gaining from the coordination with these companies, Garret?
Look, the reality is that some of these companies are actually sort of frenemies, but we also are bound by the fact that we know America needs to prevail. And so if we're up against a country with an entirely different set of rules, we're bound by the fact that we've got to work with this administration to have the energy, to have the technology, the innovation, the permitting in a way that allows us to ultimately prevail. And so that's one of the greatest things, despite the fact that these companies may be competing in some senses. Everyone is bound by the fact that America must prevail here.
So, Kyrsten, what's the most important change that you want to see in order to get this across the finish line, in order to really scale up in terms of winning this race against China?
Maria, that is the most important question on the table today. And number one, what we have got to do in this country is increase energy production here domestically in the U.S. and ensure that we can deploy that energy through data centers that allows us to actually utilize the compute so we can use AI to transform not just our community, but ensure that we dominate the AI race globally. So it's really two-pronged. We've got to increase domestic energy production. And just so you know, I'm sure you know this, Maria, the National Energy Defense Council is leading a whole-of-government approach through the Trump administration, and they are doing this day in and day out and doing a fantastic job ensuring that we are increasing American energy production. So that's number one. Yeah. And then number two, we've got to do the permitting, and we've got to ensure that we're doing this quickly so that we can defeat China and that American AI is the global standard, not Chinese.
All right. That is great. We're going to be watching you work on this. Kyrsten, I have one more question for you before you go, because you left the Senate along with my good friend Joe Manchin. I believe you were troubled by what you were hearing about your colleagues wanting to remove the filibuster. Obviously, Kyrsten, that issue has come up again. Do you believe that when and if the Democrats take control again, that they will, in fact, remove the filibuster? Kyrsten?
Maria, I really hope that they do not. That is a short-sighted decision. And you saw, and we talked during the time that I fought very hard to protect the filibuster. It is an important tool in the Senate that creates comity. It requires senators to work together and bridge their differences to make big decisions on behalf of the country. It acts as a cooling mechanism to sometimes the hot-headed behavior of the House. I can say that because I served in the House, too. So, you know, I told my colleagues several years ago, you'll regret it if you get rid of the filibuster now, because time comes around quickly. And that has already occurred. So I hope that everyone is taking a step back, letting cooler heads prevail, and recognize that the filibuster is a tool that is not designed for one party or the other. It's designed for our country. And it is critically important that it be maintained for the future.
Yeah, it's for the American people, after all. But, I mean, that's why you left, right? I mean, do you feel that you got a sense from your colleagues on the Democrat side that they will remove it if they're in control?
No, Maria, I'm not sure what they would do. I can tell you that when I retired, one Democratic senator came up to me and apologized for opposing me and my position on the filibuster. So that's one person. That's good.
That's just one? All right.
Just one.
Kyrsten Sinema, great to see you. Garret Graves, great to see you. You are working on important stuff, and we will keep a focus on it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
We will see you soon.